The law of attraction is real. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Lounge, a group of like-minded and like-hearted people who get together every week and talk about everything quantum. So tonight's subject is the law of attraction, manifestation, and some people don't believe in it. And about 20 years ago, the movie documentary, The Secret, came out, and it opened a lot more eyes. But there's more to it than what that movie actually spoke about, because we are divine beings. Everyone talks about a soul, and most people on the planet believe in something. So they believe they've got a soul. But literally, that soul is divine, and divinity gets to create. So the law of attraction will bring you however you're vibrating, because everything is a vibration. We've spoke about this lots of times before. So it doesn't get what you want. In fact, that keeps it away from you when you talk about you want this, right? It's who you are. So when you're vibrating at a certain vibration, like experiences happen to you, different people come into your life, different experiences, and it's like magic. And I can only speak about myself and my life when I come to this realization of who I was and the law of attraction. But the interesting thing is too, when you awaken to this, it's not the stuff that you want. It's not the big house, the big car. Yeah, that's nice as well. But it's an understanding and realization that we're all connected in this thing we call life. And love and peace is the most important thing. And of course, the world needs that right now. So, this group of people who come together every week were from all different walks of life: chiropractors, lawyers, judges, nurses, singers, martial arts instructors, so from all walks of life. But we have one thing in common, which is wanting to be more aware of who am I? Why am I here? So I'm going to open that up to anyone on the Quantum Lounge who would like to speak about the law of attraction.
That was a great introduction there, Carl. And the truth is, you got that little piece. You could have the want, and you could put the picture up on the vision board. And I did all this for years when I first watched The Secret. And some of the things came true, and then some of them didn't. But ultimately, now what I'm learning is you just gotta feel like you've already got it. And when you feel like you've already got it, you've already got it, because that's all. The reason you want it is because you want to feel like you've got it, and it's all about the feeling. And you can actually choose to feel happy in every moment, and that's what I've been just doing, and having some fun with it. And you know what, one of the sayings I've been working, that came to me, this little saying, it's just like, absolutely nothing can make me any happier than I am right now. Like, I don't need anything else. I can choose to be happy right now. And I just oh, and it's not about anything else that I need to manifest. But when you're happy, you're going to bring in those things you do desire. All of your needs are going to be provided for. This universe is full of love and abundance, and that's your birthright. And you just be happy, and you'll attract in based on your frequency. So I'm going to pass it on. Let's see who else has to talk about this law of attraction.
Jane.
Me? Well, as you said, Mike, I do believe, I have my own opinions on want, and I do believe as creative beings, if there is no want, because when you want to experience something, anything, that I think there has to be this drive to want. That's what I believe in. And in terms of law of attraction, I think sure, it's lovely to be happy, and challenges come your way, and it's okay to feel not so good. But then it's all a perspective. The moment you decide, okay, well, this is a challenge, I'm not feeling good, but that's okay. It's just a feeling. I'm not going to convert myself into sad. You can have sadness, feel it, and then let it go, but not be sad. So I think it's a choice that we decide every day. Do I want to be sad, or do I just want to feel sad? So it's okay to feel sad, but then what do I want to be? Being the natural state is happy, loved, abundance. So I think that's a choice we make. And the moment you have this drive or want of happiness, I think we just put that into the universe, and then the happiness and it just kind of mirrors and reflects back. So that's my perspective on want and law of attraction. Who wants to go next?
Okay, I'll go next. The law of attraction. We recently had a demonstration of that in the cosmic sense, where the moon was attracted to the sun. And some people say, yeah, okay, but I've got to be here at so-and-so time. Hey, folks, you are part of something much bigger. And it didn't just happen by chance. Do you know that when the moon blocked the sun, flowers closed? I mean, it got cooler. The wind started coming up. And if we didn't have the sun, we wouldn't have life on Earth. It took a fantastic creative being of some kind, whatever you want to call it, to create this magical world, cosmos, and our bodies, ourselves, and what's inside ourselves. So I call it life because that's neutral, but life is amazing. And we have life. I just attended a funeral today, and I can tell you, to appreciate life, to appreciate every day, as Mike says, the time we are alive, that we can feel, we can touch, we can hear, we can taste fruit. Every fruit has a different taste, a different texture, a different color. Isn't that amazing? All the different flowers and all the different people. So we're a bunch of fruits. A bunch of human beings, and it's being, not just human. You know, people say, oh, a human experience. No, it's human being experience. What does being mean? Being in the present moment, being one with life, being one with the Creator, and realize there is a much bigger world that we are connected to than just the 9 to 5 or earning a living. And that's funny too. Oh, I have to earn a living, you know, and 75, I'll retire and then I'll start living. But it doesn't work that way. How can you give up any moment, let alone any day or month or year? Live it fully, enjoy it fully. And as Mike says, choose to be happy. Why not? Because the alternative is you're choosing to be miserable. That's crazy. Your own life, you want to be miserable? Come on.
And you mentioned, Alan, about a human being and the present moment. And truly, it is the only place where you can manifest is in the present moment. And again, we talk a lot about the mind. So going back to the mind, of course, happiness is a state of mind, but the mind likes to take it out and stress about the future, or worried about the future, stressed about the past. And it stops you from that manifestation. And Mike was saying about what you want, and Jay said, well, we don't, it is good to have a want. And the way I look at it is sort of in between that. I think once you get to that state, that creativity just flows through you, and it's not stuff anymore. It's more of creating from your being, you know, creating whatever it may be. Like I became a singer after the my shift in consciousness, because I realized I had something inside me that wanted to burst out, And I always did as a kid, but I didn't have a guide at all. Why don't you do that or whatever? But anyway, I realized I can do that, you know, I can go out and become a singer, which I did. And I recorded 2 CDs and now I sing. So it's, but it's something that comes through you, and then you said, then you have an intention, and then it's the law of attraction. I call it the law of attraction in action. So I can't just sit there and, you know, but there's an action to be taken towards that. But it's not like a want, you need it. It's just something that adds to your life and your joy and your peace in life. Right, Sarah?
Well, I'm sitting here listening to you guys and I'm thinking the law of attraction. I really believe we attract who we are into our lives, the good and the bad.
And the ugly, good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
Well, maybe
The
just
movie,
you.
for people who didn't know that. I'm not...
You set yourself up for that. Come on. I have mixed, I don't know, the law of attraction. I've done vision boards. I've gotten together with people at my place and we did things. And it was fun. It was fun to do a vision board with a bunch of friends. So the intention there was just to be with a group of people at the moment, to have fun and do a vision board, cutting out pictures or saying. So the attraction there was not what we envisioned on the boards, but the fact that we're together in a beautiful harmony, having fun doing, oh, I'm gonna get this house. Oh, and me, like I said, well, if I can't get my Jaguar, I want a 67 Mustang Shelby. And like, what's a Mustang Shelby? You don't know what like, so it was like a fun event, which we learned to do from the movie, The Secret. So the law of attraction for me, I don't know. I find it, I almost think that it's missing, it's not worded properly. It's got to be different. Because when you think of law of attraction, you think, well, if I attract, like, what do I want? I want to attract a boyfriend into my life, or I want to attract a boat into my life. It doesn't matter. But it's more than that. It's more, the law of attraction is more than just materialistic things. The law of attraction to me is how we are right now. So I can tell you that I have so many people I've been at my job for 28 years, and I bump into these people on the streets or in the malls or wherever. And every single one of them will say, you make me feel so good, because no matter what's going on, you're always happy, you're always smiling. And I used to say, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to tell you I'm hurting, or this happened or that happened? Do you want me to be very needy? Will that make me more human? Like, who cares if I'm in pain? Right at this moment, I bumped into one of my managers from work. How cool is that you work for 10, 15, 20 years, and suddenly you drive out of your way from Thornhill to Newmarket and you bump into your manager, and at that moment it's like, hi. At that moment, that's all there is. So I just have mixed feelings about the words law of attraction, because I think it's almost for me anyways, it's kind of misaligning the law of attraction, because I am the attraction.
That's right there, Sarah. We could call it the law of vibration too, because it's a similar thing. It's a vibration, it's a frequency, right? So like-minded, or I would say, well, mind creates an emotion and a vibration as well, right? And like-hearted people, they do meet more, and certain experiences you have depending where you are. And I think for people who are watching, if you're still with us, you're obviously interested. What you will find as well, what I found anyway, I can only speak about me, that when I decided to become a singer, people around me that thought it was a bit crazy what I was doing in my life, because I had a martial arts club. You're not a singer, you're this. And people sometimes even try and pull you back, but don't allow that. Martin Luther King said, just take the first step and you will see for yourself. And there's nothing like your own experience to understand the power that you hold within. And the better it gets, the better it gets. And we talk about that a lot here. So it's up to you. And there's a very famous quote, and I forget exactly what it was, but basically what it was, this gentleman on his deathbed, he sat back and he said to his wife, what if my whole life was a mistake? Don't let your whole life be a mistake. Don't die with your song still inside you. Go out and live your greatest life. Do what you love. Do only what you love, because you're not making a living if you hate your job. You are making a dying. So love what you do, and things will just get better and better every day in every way. Right, Alan?
Right. And I'll pick up on what Sarah said. When we think of law of attraction, we think of bringing something into our lives that we want. And usually it's material things. But we're here to give, to express. And as Sarah was saying, you know, you express love, you express at a high vibration, you're going to draw people to you. You're going to be the light, the sun for those people. And so it's a tremendous amount. And you're expressing what you love to do. It can be singing, it can be whatever it happens to be. Check your heart, write down your passions, and what do you have to give into this world? That's the law of attraction. And you know, you're going to attract other people. You're going to be happy yourself because you're giving all the time. I am come that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Well, who is I am, if not you?
Yeah, and Jesus also said, Alan, and I'm not talking religiously. I've got Buddha behind me. I'm not a Buddhist. He was a master. He come to teach about emptiness and stillness. Jesus also come mostly to teach about love. All the great masters, they all knew this. Jesus said, pray like it's already been given unto you. So in words, I put that in my terms would be, don't pray like you need it. Sort of feel you've already got it, which we were talking about. When you're in that state, it will come to you effortlessly, because I was going to touch on this is called the quantum lounge, because it's not woo-woo. Quantum physics is the highest of science, and it's now proven who we are, everything is vibration. There's a great book called Power versus Force. Get yourself that book if you don't know about the science, because it is an incredible. It's one thing about feeling it, thinking about, but when you see it and you see it really happen, and you experience it in your own life, it will change your life forever. It truly will. And you'll be more aware of what you're thinking about, because what you're thinking about, you're bringing about, because your thinking will cause an emotion, it will cause a vibration, and that vibration is going to bring you ease or dis-ease. That's why we say switch off the TV, switch off the news, because it's fear, fear, fear. There's two vibrations. The highest is love, the lowest is fear. Where do you want to be at? Right, Mike?
Absolutely, Carl. That emotion is energy in motion. So you can direct that motion, and you could actually keep moving that vibration up from any of those lower frequency fear emotions, guilt, shame, whatever. You can start moving them up into hope. Even anger is sometimes a little bit higher than some of these ones, and
That's
hope,
right, Mike.
and then courage, and then you just move your way up towards happiness. And it's true, you could start feeling the feeling. Sarah, what's it like to have a relationship with somebody who's got a boat? And hey, you just feel it. You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be in your life, but you can have just this feeling of like freedom, and the ability to go on the water and do all these different things. And that's what and have some fun with it, because this feeling stuff you don't have to pay for it. You could choose to have the happiness. You could choose to have the feeling of freedom. And really, I like to look back at, Einstein's quote, and it's basically you could choose every day whether you want to believe that this is a hostile universe or a friendly universe. And when you realize it's friendly, everything that does manifest into your life, it's trying to direct you and give you some feedback on how you're doing with your feelings. If you are manifesting some contrast and some challenges, hey, it's just telling you, hey man, you got some things to work on. You got some thoughts you got to like clear up, and you got some programs that you got to start working on. And that's a great thing because it's an emotional feedback system. So hey, it's a friendly universe. It's directing us, and we can start using the feedback to start, creating the, the life of love and abundance. And then, and the other thing is you are the source of what you want. So when you realize you are connected directly to that source, if you want more love in your life, go out and find people that need more love in their life and then give that love to them. So give that, whatever you think you need, start giving that to others. And that's how you're going to attract it back into your life. So that's the cycle we're working on.
So true, Mike. So
Yes.
bang on with that, So what do you want this world to be like? I think like years ago, I love the quote by Gandhi, "You be the change in the world." I don't know if he literally knew that that is science, because when you are the change, the world mirrors you. So as Mike said, you want more love in the world, go out and give love. You want more abundance, give abundance. It'll come back to you. Right, Jane?
Yep, you got to know who you are, and it's all beautiful. And the only thing I would want to add, like you guys said it all so beautifully, but I'm just speaking for people that can't really always be happy, because it takes work. It takes work and it takes effort to stay in that vibration. It's not because challenges happen. People you walk around could lower your vibration. And I personally believe, like, we all want to be happy. That's a natural state. But in this day and age, it takes effort. So for me personally, like, I do need my time out in nature. I do need to meditate. I do need to constantly look at podcasts that are uplifting. And, when I get messages from people and emails about this is happening and that's happening, and I have to cut myself and say, no, this is not my reality. I only want to watch positive or uplifting stuff. So for those, the happiness is just not always there. You need to find the compass of staying happy, and you need to really maybe follow people that are happy, listen to podcasts that are uplifting, because you have to change your compass at least to neutral to then stay happy. That's just something I want to add for anybody that's not in that state of happiness or wants to be, but there's so many challenges around, whether it's disease or health or finance or toxic people you're around with. You just have to decide that's what you want to be, and then as I said, like, listen to podcasts, join the Quantum Lounge.
And that the I don't want to use the word courage, but as students, whether we're 10 years old, 15, 65, 85, 95, we're still students. We're still in junior kindergarten, as far as I'm concerned. And some of us sometimes graduate to senior kindergarten, grade 1 and grade 2, in our spirituality. And I think, for me anyways, what I'm learning is not to get caught up in the hype. Like, I have friends who say to me, I never watch TV. I don't watch TV. They're on their laptop 24/7. They're on their laptop watching stuff. In my opinion, for me, I don't see the difference between them being on their, no, I don't like the screens. I don't like this radiation. So, for example, I couldn't sleep recently, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I got hooked on a show, and Alan, you might have heard of this because it's The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And so it's 5 seasons. That's 5th season, just kind of like went weird because they had to wrap it up. I found it so entertaining And yeah, I was watching TV, binge watching, and you know what? It's okay. So when I have somebody saying, I don't watch TV, radiation, I don't have a TV in my I don't have a TV in the house. You know what? I watch TV and I watched a really funky, made me feel good. And it revolves around a Jewish family. And as a Jewish Israeli person, I got a lot of the shtick. Like you would, some of other people would watch and they would laugh. But living that kind of a life made me see it in a even funnier way. And I went, oh my God, I remember that happened to me at Passover or this or whatever. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with watching TV. So I guess my point is don't get caught in the hype when somebody says, oh, I'm spiritual, I don't watch TV. There is no right or wrong. Yes, I don't like to watch the news at night. I don't want to listen to negative things because you know what? Eventually you will know about it. Whether you watch or hear, eventually you will know. That's as human beings, we know. So I guess my thing is living in the moment, and law of attraction to me is I couldn't sleep tonight. So what can I attract to make myself feel better tonight? I could go and grab a bag of chips and sit here feeling sorry for myself. Oh, I heard about this great TV show. Let me watch. And I got hooked on it. And it lifted my spirits. So don't let anybody dictate what life of attraction should be. Life, oh, I'm supposed to attract this, or I want this and it will come to me. No, it's what's in your heart. And as long as you ask or you do with kindness and respect for all human beings, like that's all there is. So
Yeah,
what
it's
I
all
want
about
the
balance.
same as what Jane might want, right? But as long as we don't enforce on each other with hatred and disrespect, it's all good. It's all the same.
It's all about balance, Sarah. You know, it's whatever you do in life, it's you have to have that balance. And Jane, you made a good point about um, it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy because and that we talk a lot again about the mind. You know, if you can, a lot of things are caused by our reactions because I was listening to Eckhart last night, Eckhart Tolle, and again, he was talking about when you become awake and consciously aware. To me, awake is being consciously aware that you are source energy. You're not this body. I'm not just Carl Sten, this guy does this. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. So when you come to that awareness within yourself, you then become less reactive because you know you are self-aware. It's almost like you're behind yourself and think, oh, shouldn't have done that. But you catch yourself a lot more. So you keep your vibrations higher and you stay more peaceful. Although things happen in your life like they happen in everyone's life. No one's life's perfect, but it's the way you react and then do something from a situation. If someone's screaming at you, do you scream back? Or you get a huge bill, do you go crazy? Or do you go, okay. So that raises your vibration. And then that brings you better things in your life. And it depends how far you want to take it. You know, of course, we all like fun. Jane and I like a bag of chips sometimes, but it's balance. If you're doing it all the time, you're not exercising, you're not eating correctly. And again, it depends what you want in your life because it's all up to you. And that's a great thing about this. You are the power. You get to decide, no one else. Some people tell stories, and Sarah, you're right. There are many people now, and I've said this for a long time. We've got the mainstream media putting fear out, and we've got a lot of the freedom fighters that they're doing this, they're doing that. And you're caught up. It's like, oh my God, where do I go? What do I do? So it's a balance about that. And when you live from that love, which you mentioned, courage, Sarah, courage comes from love. Courage is a very high vibration. And Mike, you were right before with what you said there. Anger is a higher vibration than depression or lower things in your life or your helplessness. But when you get angry, fed up with it, I'm going to do something about it. You take action then. So you can take action. So it's easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. But it's up to us. We can all do it. And I think that's been a great chat tonight. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we spoke about a lot of other stuff. If you go back on YouTube as well, you'll see our discussions. And join us every week. And maybe come and join us on the Quantum Lounge one day. So unless anyone else has got anything to say.
Yes, I do. One last thing.
Oh, you would, Alan. You would.
I love the last word.
Yeah.
I love what Jane said about it's not my experience. I choose what experience I will have, what reality. It's not my reality. So what you hear on the news, as Carl was saying, that's not reality. That's a total distortion of reality because you are the creator of your reality. So as Carl says, and as it was said before, you are the change you want to see in the world. Your world. We each center a world. And we have the choice, as Mike was saying, to be happy or miserable. And maybe your job isn't the greatest. Maybe it's not that satisfying right now. But it'll change if you change first. And if you have the right attitude, things around you will change. You create your reality. So start creating, start expressing, start giving, and start being happy. And enough with the thinking, because all suffering is from the human mind going over and over. It's negative and repetitive. But the heart constantly beating, it's a miracle. Your breath, each breath is amazing. We are alive, folks.
You are the answer.
Yes.
Right, sir. You are the answer. The greatest thing that is happening right now in every little town, in every city, in every country on our beautiful planet is happening everywhere. And the more people that get this, we don't just create our own reality, we do it en masse. Nobody wants wars. We want to live in peace with our neighbors and our friends and our family. And we're creating it right now. You won't see this on the BBC News or CNN because they come, and to them, there wouldn't be anything happening because we've just got presence and peace in our heart. And that does not sell.
Maybe we should have another like they have, what is it, Channel 33 for me, with the news. Can we start another channel where every time you click it on, it's, oh, Alan just did his poem. Oh, Jane just did her meditation. Or Carl just gave instead of and that's, I'm sorry, I'm not taking away from the news that's happening around the world. It's a reality, and if there's an opportunity for us to help and support, great. But wouldn't it be cool that we had another station?
We do.
It's coming.
It's called the Life Network. This is it. The Quantum Lounge on YouTube, the Quantum Lounge on YouTube. And you are part of the spiritual evolution, as Carl was saying, that's happening all around the world. People are waking up, and we attract those who are vibrating at the same level.
So thanks for tuning in, my friends. And we will see you again next week on the. And Mike, did you want to say something there?
I was going to say, yes, Alan, we have the choice. We can be the change we want to be in the world. We just got to live an awakened life. And instead of reacting, we can take a breath and we can respond in a more loving way. So live an awakened life, everybody.
Thank
Carl,
you,
finish
Mike.
it off.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks,
you guys.
Darling. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Carl. Oh, it's me. Take care, my friends. Subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Gotta put my glasses on to switch this recording off now.